Good morning, everybody. It's Megan here, the Healing Foods Coach. It is Tuesday, the 28th of January, and I hope you're all doing well. This is just me in my kitchen, early in the morning, just before 8 o'clock, just giving you a bit of a shot of the kitchen there. So today's topic, what do I want to call it? Well, the theme of the topic is, what do we do when the dreams we thought we wanted change and become something completely different? Um, I know it's a bit wordy, so I'm not sure how not sure what I'll call it officially, but just talking about how sometimes things in life can change and that's not a bad thing, and how sometimes we need to think about the things we thought we wanted. As it turned out, maybe those are just pathways to where we were meant to be that we didn't see coming. And I was determined. I was determined. I was excited 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I was going to become a certified nutrition coach because I was going to make a living doing it and help so many people follow a low carb, keto, or carnivore lifestyle. And that was my passion. That was my dream. And that's still my passion. But I thought I'd be making a living at it. And I went ahead and I studied and I worked hard and I got my certification. And I'm super proud of myself for that. Going back to school full time at my age. Um, but I realized pretty quickly when I completed my certification that the timing wasn't right. And what do I mean by that? Yes, more and more people need to take control of their health. Yes, there is a growing surge in obesity and type 2 diabetes and prediabetes and hypertension and heart disease. Undeniable. And as a human species, we seem to be eating more and more processed junk and garbage, causing us more and more harm, without a doubt. And so those of us who are kind of out on the fringes doing this crazy carnivore thing or this low carb keto thing, even intermittent fasting with low carb or thrown in here and there, making a huge difference. And we do need to talk about the poison of processed sugars and oils. I completely agree. What I also realized is that not just here in the UK, but I think pretty much worldwide, we are in a global cost of living crisis. For most of us, wherever we live, the cost of things have gone up. The quantity of things, or yeah. So you're getting a lot less for costing you a lot more in many cases. And, for many people, what they're earning as an income, or perhaps through their pensions or disability support, isn't quite enough to cover the cost of what they actually need to pay for. Housing, whether it's a mortgage or rent, utilities, groceries, clothing, all those things, all those essential things we need are becoming more expensive, and we're having less disposable income to pay for it. And more people are taking out loans and credit cards, going into that sort of debt because they're trying to make sure they have the essentials in their lives that they maybe can't quite cover on their own. And it's not just here in the UK, it's everywhere. And it's a horrible thing. It's a tough thing. Those of us who are working, or maybe who did work for years, or are on pensions, and they're finding their money's not stretching as far. And so I get it. You're going to cut out the most the most frivolous and least required expenses, and oftentimes that's things like gym memberships, not just nutrition coaching, but if you've been seeing a nutritionist or a personal trainer, those are the first things to go because they're not essential. They can be truly helpful, obviously. Those of us trying to get healthy and fit, they can be very helpful because we may need that extra motivation. Maybe we aren't strong enough to just say, "I'll just watch something on YouTube and I'll go do it." I don't know, I spent years telling myself, I got this figured out. I can work out my own health plan and I'll be fine. And no, it didn't work. I would have needed someone to support me through those things. Not so much now, but there was a time when I definitely did. And so many people are like that. Some of us, we're lucky, we see something, we're determined, we can get out, we can get it started, and we keep to it because we have motivation, but most of us don't. And so when it's a case of, all right, I need this extra 50, 100 pounds to cover groceries, or I'm going to pay for a gym membership and speaking to a nutritionist or a personal trainer. Well, that's easy. You pay for groceries because you got to eat, because you got to live. So I get that. And what I didn't fully comprehend as I was going through my studies, and most of us probably didn't, was how long this cost of living crisis was probably going to carry on. And we're still in it. We're still in it. I'm lucky because in COVID, when gyms were closed, personal trainers were not an option, and everybody was doing everything virtually anyways, whether it was virtual yoga classes or, you followed somebody on a TikTok video or on a YouTube video. It became a new way to get information. And I'm thankful for that, because that brought me into the world that includes Dr. Ken Berry and his wife, Nisha. And that brought me into just watching people like Zero Carb Life with Kelly Hogan, and people like, Dr. Anthony Chafee. And you guys know all these names if you've been around for a bit, but these are videos that are absolutely worth watching. Brought me into watching videos by Dr. Philip Ovadia and many, many others. Of course, Professor Bart Kay. Amazing, amazing stuff. Coach Steven, Steak and Butter Gal and Steak and Butter Gang, which I was watching a lot of, especially at the beginning, and so many other people who've really helped me gain the confidence to take control of my own nutritional journey. And so I'm thankful for that. But what I also realized was that in order to try to start a business virtually and make a living as a nutrition coach, it didn't matter if I had the certifications at that point. I mean, it did, but in the middle of a cost of living crisis, it was not realistic to think people would be willing to pay for such a service, because they were making their own choices on where to cut back on expenses. My husband and I had to have a few chats, and there were things that we sort of went without for a while, because that's a smart thing to do when you're in a cost of living crisis. And I wasn't working yet. I was still not working full time. And what I wanted to say was, at this point, I don't know if that's something that's going to come for me as far as making a living as a nutrition coach. But I realized even if I don't, that's okay. I'm going to keep doing this, because you know why? I still love to help people. I've got 3 people at work. One's doing low carb intermittent fasting, and 2 of them are on a keto/ketovore diet. And I shared that I'm carnivore, and yeah, it's great. It's worth it. It's tough at first, but yeah, keep going. And they said, oh, that's so cool. Thanks for letting us know. Now, am I going to cram what I do down their throats? Of course not. They're on their own journeys, but I'm happy to cheerlead for them. And I've even said, oh my gosh, that's so great. Well done, you guys. That's fantastic. Go away. I hope it goes well. Because I want to be a cheerleader for everybody who wants to try to improve their health through nutrition. And then if on top of that, you decide to put in some exercise, well done. Honestly, that's amazing. I guess what I'm trying to say is that this dream I had of, I'm going to have like 50 clients. I'm going to be living the rich life. I'm going to be coaching, and that's it for me. No, it's not how it worked. And which was naive and foolish of me, I realize. And there are some great people out there who do coach on a full-time basis, but they've been doing it for years, long before this cost of living crisis happened. And so they have people they see, and they can, I think of Coach Stephen, who's also a trained phlebotomist, so he can run different types of blood tests and things. I don't have that service that I can share. That's not part of my wheelhouse of skill. But I am somebody who will love to cheer you on. So even if I never have another paid client, I'm happy to offer any kind of coaching, advice, or support that I can, because you know what? First and foremost, I found health and healing through this lifestyle. I've been blessed. God has looked after me. To not being able to work for 8 years, being in a wheelchair for almost 9. My medical issues are all in remission. Am I saying I'm fully cured? No, because the reality is, if I do the wrong thing, if I push myself too hard, if I twist the wrong way, there is a possibility I could cause a flare-up, or it could come back. But I've been in remission for 4.5 years, off all my medications except the statins I need, because I have hypercholesterolemia. That to me is amazing. that's a story I'm happy and proud to share with anybody who wants to listen, and sometimes to people who really didn't ask but get to hear about it anyways. The reason I wanted to share that is if I hadn't been at a place where I was willing to refocus my mind and really learn and train myself to study and pay attention and do what was required to get through my certification, I would not have the mindset or the mentality of being able to take on all kinds of brand new information about insurance. So I work for a home insurance company in Colchester. I'm like a 12-minute walk from my house. I work with some really good people, great team, super supportive, always helpful. And we joke and we laugh and when we have a good time when we're not busy with our customers. And I love it. But I would never have been ready for that if I'd not gone through all of the mental training and exercise required to get myself ready to be able to learn and focus and read loads of information and learn how to retain it. And that's helped bring me to where I am now. So I'm thankful for every step along the way. And I still call myself the Healing Foods Coach, because even if I'm not being paid to do it, I'm still helping coach people. I still have people in my life that I coach on a regular basis. My husband constantly asks me for my advice and my feedback when it comes to, hey, what are some better alternatives? I know this isn't good for me. What do you recommend? How can I get help with this? Whatever it is. And my son often asks, hey, is this okay, or is it too much bread, or whatever it is. He's kind of a bit more, he's more on a low carb end of things, but he will often ask me, Mom, is this okay, or should I not have as much of the bread, or should I not eat this meal? Is it too full of carbs? Which is kind of nice. I don't expect to be paid for it. So I guess I'm putting this out there because I was having a few days of feeling like, what am I doing? What do I want to do? Am I going to make it in the world as this famous nutrition coach and guru? No, probably not, but that's okay. Because I have full-time work. I feel productive and useful. And more importantly, through all of it, my nutrition has been amazing. I feel energized overall. I feel healthy overall. I've been symptom-free of everything for a very long time now. And weight stable, all of that good stuff. And I just feel like I'm growing and maturing more and more all the time. And that to me is what matters most. So, although my dream of, making a living as a nutrition coach, that's probably not going to happen, but that's okay. I'm still coaching. I still help people on a daily basis. I still help people and offer my support whenever they ask for it. And so for you guys, by the way, thank you so much for your support and your encouragement. If you have any questions, if you're not sure how to start, or you're not sure what to do, or you've started but you're finding, I'm not feeling full enough, or whatever it is, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm happy to give you, at least from my experience, what's worked for me, what may work for you. Any questions, any comments, please share with me. I'd love to hear from you. And if you ever want any sort of, hey, I'm feeling this is a struggle, can you help me with this? Let me know, and I'd be more than happy to help you out. So that was it for today. I'm excited. I'm in a great place right now. So one dream maybe didn't come true, but I found a new dream on the way, and that was working full time again. And I'm doing that in a place that I enjoy, with people I get along with, and I'm loving life and feeling pretty blessed. So absolutely super grateful for that. And I'm just really, really, really glad to be able to share this with you guys. I hope this video is encouraging. That's the point. That's the reason I made it. And sometimes in life, we start out on one journey and find ourselves finishing on a completely different one, which is what's happened with me. And that's not a bad thing. That can be the most incredibly amazing thing we never saw coming, but that we just totally needed. So if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I do respond to all comments, all questions. I do respond. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all your support over all these years. It means everything to me. I will see you guys soon in the next video. Take care. And that's Megan, the Healing Foods Coach, signing off for now. See you guys next time around.